All right, there you are. Are you looking at the module that we're getting ready to do in the JavaScript certificate from FreeCodeCamp? The one that we're working on this time, it's called Building a Fortune Teller Lab, where it doesn't give you step-by-step instructions, but it does give you user stories. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Rob. I run a coding community over here called the Code Zone School. And this is where we are going to come at these types of modules, these types of labs, and come at it from an instructor's point of view. So if you're looking to learn, if you're looking to understand why things are the way that we're doing, and you want to start thinking like a programmer, then this video is going to be for you. And we have plenty of other modules, videos explaining some of the modules that FreeCodeCamp offers. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and see what we have to do. All right, so here it is, building a fortune teller. We have our user stories, and it kind of gives us guidance on what we should be doing over in our code section. All right, so one of the first things that it has us do in this user story, it says that we need to utilize 5 variables. We have them right here: fortune 1, fortune 2, fortune 3, fortune 4, and fortune 5, with a string value of your choice. And you can choose any of them below as far as the options go. And I think we'll go ahead and do that for like a real quick copy and paste. But to get the code looking right to begin with, before we start adding in these quotes, these strings here, then I'm going to go ahead and just set us up for success with it. So let's go ahead and go to the code. And the thing that you want to start thinking about at this point is you want to know, okay, we have a problem. We need to go ahead and try to think about it, try to break down the problem. And it says that you first should initialize 5 variables and go ahead and set them to a string. So that's what we're going to do. So over here in our code, we're going to go ahead and start typing this out. Now we can do const, we can do let, we can do var as far as the initialization and setup of these, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick with let, and then we want to name our variable, and it is specifically looking for fortune. And then the next thing is we want to assign it something, and that's where we utilize that equal sign. And then we can go ahead and add in, right now, we'll just do an empty string, and then we'll put the semicolon on there. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because my screen real estate here for you might be a little small. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like this for now. But I'm going to go ahead and rinse and repeat and copy this 5 times because I need to go all the way up to fortune 5 in order to get this to work. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, copy it to my clipboard, and then I'm going to go to the next line of code, paste it, and then I'm going to paste that again just 5 times. All right, I believe I have it up there 5 times. I'm on line 5, so that lets me know. And then we're getting some errors already because it says, hey, that variable has already been declared, right? And so you can only utilize the let and the name, the variable name itself, just 1 time throughout your program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 1 to a 2 and so on. And so I'm going to go ahead and create that down here. I'll do a 3, a 4, and then a 5. Okay. Now, the thing that the application or the user story said that we can do is we can go ahead and add in those strings, the values that they provided us, and that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to their instructions here, and I'm just going to copy each one of these and place them on the code here. So I'm just going to do the first one for you on camera, and then I'm going to pause the video and simply just show you the end and final result. All right, so there's this. Let me go ahead and show that here to you. So I went ahead, copy, pasted the very first one, and then I'm just going to go to the next one, copy, paste it as well. The thing that I want you to remember is that I already have these string quotes. You only need 1 set, otherwise your program might break. So I'm going to pause the video here and catch you back up once I pasted every single one of those fortune strings. All right, and this is what it should look like right now after we got done copying and pasting every single string that they gave us in the instructions. All right. And if you want, you can totally check your code right now and take a look at some of the user stories that you have passed as far as the testing goes. But at this point here, I'm going to go ahead and move on to step number 2, or user story number 2, that they give us. So user story number 2, it says we need to be able to select a random number between 1 and 5 inclusive and assign it to a variable called random number. So what it's wanting us to do, and again, we want to read what it's saying, is we want to create a variable. So create a brand new variable, just like what we've done before with fortune 1 through 5. And we want to be able to assign it some sort of random number. Now, the way that we're going to do this and test it out is, if you've been following along with the FreeCodeCamp modules and you've gone through the previous step, we just got done going over the math bot one, I believe is what it's called. And so let me go ahead and bring that one up here. So I do have the tab pulled up. So it's build a math bot. And it's, if we just go to step number 16, we can take a look at the code that we supplied from before and just remember and try to refactor it to meet the needs of what we want to do. And so we have this up here. We have random number 2 equals math.random times a max minus a min plus a min. And that's what, this is the exact line of code that we need. And I'm going to go ahead and pull in this. I'm going to highlight this from the previous lesson that we did. And I told you there that when we went through this, I was like, hey, this is something that you want to put in your notes because it may come back. And it's not something that you may want to commit to memory. You just know that you've done it before. Again, this is what we're grabbing from this step, is this right here, which is the const of the min. We got the const of the max. And then we're just going to take this, grab it, and copy it to our clipboard. And then we can go ahead and bring it over to our code. And we need to refactor it to match the user story. So I went ahead and pasted it there. Notice we're already console logging something, but in the user story, it needed to be a random number, right? So that's the key thing here, is a random number. And so if we come over here and just change this variable name to random number instead. So let me go ahead and do that here. So random number. And the math.random is fine. That is the method that we pulled out from the lesson. It's going to generate a random number between 0 and 0.99999, right? And we're also going to take this max and min, and then we're just going to add the min. Now down here, we're going to make sure that our console log is going to be the random number that we have right here. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. Now notice that we have the trailing numbers and digits, and if we remember on how to break that up, and that's where we can take a look at our previous lesson again. Let me go to it and see if we can remember, maybe if we can take a look on how are we able to just chop off the decimals and just use whatever's there. And so we have the round, we have the max, we have the min, and let's see if we have on here the floor. I don't know if we did the floor. There it is, the floor. So the floor, what it will do is it will take whatever random number that we're getting, right, and say it's this one right here, 21. Well, what the floor will do, it will chop off the decimals and just leave you with the number. And so that's kind of what we want to do. So over here, if we just read this code of what we did before, it looks like we just did a math.floor and we wrapped it around a number in order to get those decimals to be chopped off. So if we go back over to our lab here, if I come up here and I'm going to highlight this entire thing, I'm going to cut it, right? I'm going to take it out or copy it because I'm going to delete it here. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete, and then I'm going to do a math.floor. I got my left and right parentheses on there, And then I'm going to paste in what I just copied on my clipboard, right? So now we have a nice solid number of 44, but we have to ask ourselves a question here, which is that what the prompt was asking? Was it asking for a random number between 1 and 100? If we take a look, that's not what we want, right? We want 1 and 5. So we got our minimum correct, but let's come over here and change the 100 and let's make it 5. And so anytime we go ahead and make any changes on here, we can just add a space and it will rerun things. We should get a random number between 1 and 5. So you can see that we got 1 a couple times. We got a 2, we got a 3. So we know that this thing is working every time the program gets reran. Okay, so we have satisfied this where we're able to select a random number between 1 and 5 and store it in the variable of random number. So that's what we just got done doing. So that means we're going to be on to user story number 3 here. And it says we should create a selected fortune variable and assign it the appropriate fortune based upon the rules. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come over to the code and I'm going to go ahead and just create a variable here. And so we'll just do let selected fortune. And for now, I'm just going to have that be an empty string. And then down below, I'm going to just do a console log of selected fortune. All right, and so I can test this out. Right, I want to test this out here. And maybe I can just type in hello to see if it did in fact work. Okay, so it looks like it did work. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and change it back to a blank because what we want to do next is in the instructions, it says that we have all these like if statements, right? So if the number is 1, we want to assign the selected fortune the value of fortune 1, for example. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. And the way that we're going to do this is with multiple if statements, right? And so we can come down here and we can just make an if statement for each one of these. So we can say if, and then we want to do some sort of evaluation, right? We want to say if the random number, and we're going to put the 3 equal signs on there, and if it equals 1, then we can go ahead and say the following. We can say, hey, if it does equal 1, then our selected fortune is going to be equal to fortune 1. And we can already see in the terminal, we accidentally or we randomly got a number 1, and now our selected fortune is readable right here. You can see that right there, which is really neat. Okay, so this would be a really good point here for you to try and do this on your own because we're just going to take what we've learned before and apply it here. So we don't need an else statement. I hope it's not looking for else statements because we can just do another copy and paste. Okay, so what I would say is pause the video, see if you're able to do it at this point, and maybe if you're like, oh, I really don't know what he's talking about, let's go ahead and do one more, and I bet you'll be able to see the pattern on what we're going to do next. If you are right now in a stuck situation, let's go ahead and copy this, and then we'll paste it down here, and we want to just refactor this. All right, so if random number happens to be 2, then we want fortune 2 to be stored in there. Okay, and look, we already got a random number of 2, so now we've already tested. We got 2 working. Now That's the pattern that you should be coming up with now. So maybe after doing these two, you should be able to do the rest on your own as far as those if statements go. And let's go ahead and feel free to pause the video, try it out. But I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this pattern throughout this video. So again, I'm just going to paste. There's random number 3, and then we want fortune 3 to be stored in there. Next is 4. So we're going to go with 4. And then we want fortune 4 to be stored in there. And then the last one is random number. We want that to be 5. And we can change this one to 5 as well. Now, again, I'm hoping that this is what they are wanting to accomplish by utilizing if statements, but we'll see. And then down here for user story number 4, if we take a look at it, it says we should be able to console log the selected fortune, which is what we're doing right here. So you can see that if I'm trying to force refresh this program by just adding a space, deleting a space, just to see what's going on here. So it looks like they're all working. But let's go ahead and check the tests to see if we actually solved this puzzle. So let's check our code. It says you should generate a random number between 1 and 5 inclusive and assign it the variable random number. So let's see what it is asking here. So we got the Math.random working and generate between 1 and 5. I don't know why, so let me go ahead and pause this here. All right, so I did some digging. I took a look at their GitHub and to see exactly what they are looking for. And unfortunately, if we take a look at what we're doing here, they are actually wanting us to hard code in these values, even though we have variables up here defining them. And so what we want to do here, and that's just the way that their unit testing happens to work, but we want to go ahead and replace this with the following. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the min and max, and we're just going to put in 5 here. So we're going to put in 5, and then we're just going to add, instead of the minimum, right? Instead of it taking it from the variable, we're just going to put in 1 here. And this is going to allow our code to pass. So let's go ahead and check our code. I believe that's what it's wanting. There we go. We got the submit. We're ready to continue, and we're ready to move on with these lessons. So with that being said, hopefully you learned something in this. And like I said, it's really important for you to try to pause the video, take a look at the code, see if you're able to take a look at the patterns and make it to the next level. That's all what we're trying to do here. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you take a look at our group. And if you kind of liked these videos, think about subscribing. And if you are wanting a more accelerated approach, make sure you take a look at our community. We have live coaching opportunities and open office hours that are really great for those that take advantage of that. All right. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Have a great one.